What's your name?
Selam, my name.
Hi, Selam.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm gonna do a really long. Really long. It's like 7 minutes.
Speak the word.
Mean it.
Just mean it. That's all that matters.
So, I hope you guys listen very carefully. Okay. You're like a scary bedtime story after a long vacation on the island of lies. You don't dare me to love, but you love me to dare. You don't argue to agree, but to shake secrets and share. You're like irony. Irony on the last hour of election. You're like sorry in a sorry we're dying kind of way. What I remember is your fingertips acting like they have to do this perfect job. It's like you're creating a work of art for millions to watch, yet it's unseen. It's not made of stones or screens or trees or colors or any other material things. Your art is public, yet I am the only one with excess. The way you make love twice your age. The way your kisses are like gravity towards the sun. It's like you're painting this enchanted forest of exclusion, intensity and passion, leading it to explosion. My dear, you say, I do not have much to offer, leaving me in frustration and anger due to what has been valued expensive through the eyes of another. He is soulful, humble, but hurting at the same time. An accurate definition of him would be our earth. I am occasionally fooled by the temper of his smile. You're like leaves on autumn, fallen and soon to decay, but beautiful, beautiful in a you kind of way. You're like a marine in the desert, rain in the ocean, black and white rainbow of multiple deaths of all your past lovers. But it has opened his eyes, open to the truth hiding behind the clouds of the never-ending love of passion and compassion. And anger, that was a sexy part of him, where hate, confusion, and hate meets at the after party. They were like gasoline for your immortality of never stop to question. Anger in terms of he and his mom had to walk 30 blocks due to his father's love for alcohol. They could never afford to take the bus, or how his father used to selflessly ski down the icy mountains of his mother's tears. And due to the painful ups and downs, he is sacred. Sacred in a dare to love me kind of way. His eyes are like guardians of the universe. His hands are like Atlas. Atlas rooted for the rootless. And though he is aware, at night his people lay in a Hitler has won kind of way. And passion, that was a half-full part of him. He used to say, education is overrated into the highway of icy roads where its slipper leads to extinction. And he'd also point out knowledge could never be thought. And my answer always was, do I dare to ask? You're like a scary bedtime story after a long vacation on the island of lies. Bedtime story because you say dreams are where we really awaken. That's where the truth is and where finished ideals are shaken. And I'm not saying you need to shake up into reality. I'm saying reality is already shaken. And I let that sink in, let myself understand I was just this puzzle in one of their lands. But like a blindfolded fool with a new optiker, getting rid of this illusionary sticker of clarity in terms of their choice and insanity in terms of their noise. I remember getting angry like a thunder. It was almost like telling a story about a divorce in between Father Summer and Mother Winter. And though that is impossible, that's how I felt, like this imaginary human smelt due to this imaginary sun, and they still yelled for imaginary help. Until this day, they are fooled into the game of proving they are sane in a vote so you think you matter kind of way. Yet some know it's part of the same old game of hammering our old ways deep into the innocence of our own shame. And yes, ancient stories and tribes has been extinct. In the greed of their flames, we'll find their scripts. of our true story, our true origin, and our true abilities. But now, we're this credit card full machineries for their facilities. And like a tear finding its way down to the ground, I found my way to you. Survivor of an earthquake, he used to say, because the walls blocking my sight flew headfirst down to the ground and lost all their ability to smoothly land. And I dare say I'm not a fan of tragedy, but I was like an unarmed soldier applauding for a war that I did not lose, because then I had come to terms with the fact that there is no war. Hiding behind a front line of a theory called stop violence through violence before it knocks on your door. And guess what? That led to more. And what about all the ideals that we tore? For instance, yes, my body is a wall of art with no boundaries, because the finish line could never be any other way. My birthmarks acting like a map, invisible lines in between their path. My skin hired as a hard drive of all past happenings, like a canvas in terms of stretch marks or a scar after a beating. Letting the artist tell his story, symbolizing his work. That's what pretty is, and that's what beautiful was. But to be frankly talking, I really did not care of all the evil shit that's occurred, because he was like a scarecrow, scaring me away into starvation. He was my realization of a scarecrow being a figure of speech. And now I feel myself enabling the writer to write me to misery. Because what is a writer without inspiration? We are inspiring our own tragedy to be written into the book of our own reality. He used to say, it's in the highest honest realm when I tell you it's all through your eyes. And my answer always was, do I dare to ask? You're like a scary bedtime story after a long vacation on the island of lies. Thank you.
Wow.